せてやろう。壮大な話を聞かせてやろう。壮大な話を聞かせてやろう。壮大な話を聞かせてやろう。
Hey everyone, let's game, let's chill, and let's play. We're playing Otogi today. What you just saw was the team I used to beat the level 200 boss of this event, which is the Demon King Rises. I guess I'll show you the team, right? I can explain to you how they function, really. So this is the team I use. I have Chow Chow here as my buffer. So he buffs the Phantasma team by 25% at each wave. So that will be 125% crit damage by the boss wave. And another 20% damage at the final wave or the boss wave again. And increased 30% skill damage of Phantasma team members. That is the bond ability from Stella Orion here. And then I have Onikiri Suna here, which is, I intended her to be my tank, but she also does quite a decent damage, right? And nothing special about her. Million here is my crit rate buffer. I basically want my Shuten-doji or my nuker to crit as much as they can, because Chow Chow only buffed the crit damage, not the damage. So I wanted the nuker to crit reliably, right? And this is a bond ability from Trick Money, increases target's attack speed by 42%, which is a nice bonus, but it's not needed. Senji here is my pride and joy for the team. So she buffs the damage of my nuker, the highest attack ally, by 100% or 107%. And then she reduces the damage taken by all team members by 15%. That's a huge bonus. And then increases 20% of attack speed, but this only applies to herself, so it doesn't really matter. And then this is the busted ability. She increases the crit rate and crit damage of the targets that she buffs, which will be our nuker, by 43% and then 100%. So this 43 and this 45 from Million basically made up the, I guess, 88% crit rate. So that's quite good. It's not 100%, so it's not like 100% reliable, but it does what it should quite reliably. I mean 88% of the time, of course. And then this crit damage bonus from the bond ability from Reishodo is, I guess, a nice bonus, but again, it's not needed. As long as they crit, it will do the job. Then I have Sabionary here, which is the damage buffer. Passively, she increases damage of all allies at the start of each wave. So she's just a very good demon, I guess. And Gyobu here is only there for the 10% battle time limit increase. And with that, I'll show you one more time how it's done and maybe explain along the way what I do while doing the run, right? So I'm going to use this theme. We'll see. So I only want to see, or I only want to use a Shuten-doji helper. This is Shuten-doji here. As you can see, I have a lot of Shuten-doji helper. Alright, and he's a very good demon, nuker demon. So he does a big damage to enemy with highest attack, which will be the raid boss, right? And debuff the boss. So the boss will receive more damage, basically making him more vulnerable to damage. And this debuff is stackable, so it's always better to cast his skill consecutively, ideally 3 or 4 times in a row. And then he also increases skill damage of allies with highest attack, which will include himself in this case, by 25%. And 10% damage to Phantasma team members. He's a Phantasma demon at the start of each wave. So 50% damage increase by the time we reach the boss wave, which is wave 5. And I guess we won't be relying too much on these bond ability from Cheshire Cat here, because you know, people can, not all of them will have the same bonus ability, right? Like I think I can find some here. Like here it increases 50% attack speed and 25% damage for all team members instead. So yeah, we won't rely on that too much. Here crit damage and skill damage. What we will be looking at is ideally we want to have good amount of attack here. So it will be at least higher than my, I think currently my highest attack demon is actually Onikiri Setsuna. So yeah, but she only has like 16,000 or something, so 17,000 should be enough. All right, let's start. So in the first round, I always do the buffing with Senji and Ilmilion, or only Senji if I only get one orb. The second wave, I do nuking with Shuten for one of the mob. And then on the third round, I do another round of buffing, right? The fourth round, I don't want to waste any orbs on these 3 because they will need it for the boss wave. So I just do the skill of Chao Chao and Yasutsuna. Boss wave, I do buffing and then 4 casts of Shuten-doji. Now we wait for the second rotation. Right, sometimes this fail because as you can see, the boss is barely at 50% HP now. But in most situations, as long as I crit all 4 casts, then yeah, the boss will die. And that's basically what I do to farm this level 200 raid boss, right? And I guess if it's lower than 200, I'll show you just in case. This here is the team I use. It's a very simplified version of this team, right? This team is the team I use to farm up to level 199 boss, right? Because at level 200, the boss HP is like 8 million something. Well, at level 199, the boss HP was only 4 million something, so it's almost double, right? That's why I need these tanks to basically allow me to do a second rotation of the nuke, because otherwise with this team only, I will have a hard time nuking the boss for the second rotation. And this team is what I use up to maybe level 150 or something, because it's cheaper, right? As you can see, it's only 7 stars, which means 7 SE. And here it's 10 stars, which means 10 SE. Up to level 100, actually, I only use this demon here, Kumadoji. Right, so she's a damage buffer, and I can actually use her all the way up to level 99, so it was a very cheap team with only 4 SE. But anyway, yeah, those are the teams that I use on this event, all the way from level 1 to level 200. That said, I hope you enjoy this short video for this event, right? This is the first time I do this for Otogi. I hope I'll do this more in the future. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep gaming and keep chilling, my friend. Bye.